little bit, but we've been. What's up, everybody? It's Corley here and JJ. We've been out for a little bit. We're back. Stadium Pro Muay Thai. We had our USA Muay Thai Nationals, and then we also had JJ working one championship in Japan. So, uh, man, we've been busy, but we're back. We got a lot of cool stuff from the event. We had John Tanong from Lumpini Stadium come to our nationals. JJ got to sit in and work with him the entire tournament, which is really cool. We had a workshop for judges and referees as well. So we got tons of stuff to deliver for you guys. And tonight we're going to be going over some sweeps and dumps, the good and the bad from one of the fights. It was a great fight, probably one of the better fights of the tournament, in Ring One in the Elite 67 kg that JJ was in charge of with John Tanong looking over. And in this fight, gentleman was very good in the clinch, but a few adjustments. Um, I think he's going to be even better, JJ. So we're going to go over some of the stuff that he did good, and then some of the ones that were fouls and ended up having a point being taken off in the fight.
Yeah, people don't understand that in amateur Muay Thai, especially like the Olympic format is that we have to be pretty strict and stern about calling fouls by the book. There is still like a few nuances that we'll go over, like situational things that can more or less have bigger leniencies than other situations, which we'll talk about. But for the most part, it's the same protocol. You get two cautions, and then on the third one is a point deduction, and we more or less have to follow that in amateur sport because you have to draw a line somewhere, right? And like if you've been warned or you've been cautioned twice for the same foul, I think it's time to kind of make an adjustment or stop going to that. If you're really if you're unsure about the technique that you're using or unsure about the leniencies that that particular ref is going to allow you to do, maybe you don't do it anymore. If it's going to cost you a point, maybe you go to something else. But hopefully our instruction here will kind of give you a better understanding of what you can and can't get away with, more or less.
Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to show some clips of the fight. This gentleman, like I said, I don't want to take. I actually went up to him after the fight and told him what a great fight he did, and he had you can definitely tell he has some clinching skill, um, but just got to adjust the game a little bit. So we're gonna go through this first clip here, and this one is just an off balance. So you can pause that there. So on that clip, he's just off balancing, and this is not a foul, and it's good. Now, is this something that's like a high score? No, but what this does is wear down a fighter. It makes him have to get up off the canvas. But it's a good off balance and it's good timing. JJ, anything more on that?
No, I mean, as a referee is gonna assess the skill level of the if you're going into the clinch a lot, then you're gonna maybe the first couple times you're gonna let it play out, see where the guys are at skill wise and what their strategy and game plan might be, and as a judge, kind of the same thing. The first couple of times they enter, maybe there's not a very significant damage, but if one guy is floored, to due to an off balance, maybe, we're not really marking it down, but we're taking note. Okay, maybe this guy it might be a little bit less skilled. We want to see more first, but then it's something that we're looking at to maybe like, okay, maybe the guy that got floored, let's see if the other guy is trying to expose something. So we go from there. So it's not necessarily something that's going to be docked points right away, but we're definitely looking for clues at that point as to what strategy might be played after that.
Yep. All right, let's check out. Let's this one more time. We'll go to clip number 2. Just after this one, be a little pause. And here on this one, very clean, but it's very borderline. This one was the one that was probably a little bit of the top of the foot and a little bit of the bottom foot, very close. If you can see on this, well, yeah, I think in this instance, the referee, you can see right there at the end of the clip, he's checking with the jury, which is it's a good job by the referee here to check with him, because probably by his angle where he was on the backside, he wasn't 100% sure if that was legal or not. And the jury, where they're sitting, said that that's good to go. And you can see it's very close, very close. A little bit of the bottom of the foot, a little bit of the top of the foot, but it's a very nice, off balance, and then using his leg. On those ones that are close calls, it's just what did you say? It's a coin flip. You never know. If the ref's on the other side, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. He cautions that. But it was very close in that clip. Uh, but here in the fight, it's good to go. Again, this is a scoring technique. You are off balancing. You're kicking out the opponent. Um, but there's some people that really think this is very high scoring. If you look on our book, we have the triangle of effect, and it's up there. It's you're putting the person to the canvas with it, and he's got to get up off the canvas. But you know, rocking someone with a punch or a kick, or you know what I mean, it's a little bit above these things that some people think this is such a huge thing. But definitely a great technique. JJ, what are your thoughts on that one?
It's a great off balancing technique. Like you said, it could be borderline. I was right there watching. Great job by referee Michael Weber, looking up to confirm. Like Michael said, sometimes we always try to be in a good position to catch these. So it's kind of tricky. Once they're into the clinch, then we're actually arm distance. We should be arm distance away from the fighters once they enter the clinch. But sometimes you're a little bit too close to see the feet. So that's why, if you're not sure, you need to look up at the jury, which the referee does here. And if we don't see overwhelming evidence that it was a foul, we're gonna let it slide and go with the referee's no call on that.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the clip number 3. This one again is like the red corner's coming towards him, and he just doing a pulling off balance here. Um, this is a good technique. Um, you can see this is later in. Let's see, it's in round 2. You can see that the fighter is a little bit slower getting up. So these things do wear down a fighter, and I do believe, uh, red corner did win the first round, and I do believe he loses this second round, because it's starting to show effect with him
Right.
getting up off the canvas slow, and as something as simple as an off balance to the canvas is now starting to weigh in a little bit more. Kind of like what you were saying earlier about you're making notes of how this is playing out.
Exactly. Great point. So as you could see, like I said, the first one, you're just kind of watching and assessing, seeing how it plays out. Now, like Michael just mentioned, look at the body language getting up, right? He kind of gets up on his butt first. He's not he doesn't pop right up, and it's just it's not a good look at that point. So now we're starting to look at things like fatigue and composure and things like that. So again, another great off balancing technique, and maybe start to take some advantage points here.
All right. So now, I believe our next clips are going to be foul. So right there, you can see it's a little bit of a hooking. Referee giving him a caution symbol. He's showing him the exact foul that he did. Um, this one kind of is not really up for debate. You can see clearly, uh, it's almost in a bent. His knee's a little bent, and his foot is going behind. So this one, it's a foul, and he does get he gets cautioned here. So we can go on to the next one. Let's see here. This one, he lands a nice knee, and then to do a turn, he uses the bottom of his foot. Now, I know I've heard a lot of people, and then the referee does a good. He warns him again. There's people that think that um, because I didn't do that, bottom of my foot to off balance him to the canvas, he's still standing. That I can still go into a knee after that. Uh, you actually just can't do anything with the bottom of your foot. So, would I be right in saying that, JJ?
Yeah, I mean it's considered what we would call a judo technique. Obviously, it's we're fighting Muay Thai here and not judo, so you can't use that the side of your foot or the bottom of your foot in Muay Thai in any technique in any circumstance.
Yeah. So you can see there he's just doing hey, it looks nice. It looks like he's off balancing him here with his lead leg and then trying to go to a knee after that, but it's not a legal Muay Thai technique. I
Right, and
mean,
another good job by the referee for noticing both of those fouls. Now he needs to watch what he's doing, right? Because he's been cautioned twice. And all these fighters know that if they've been cautioned twice, that on the third one they're running a high risk of getting a point taken away, and that's fine. Honestly, if I was a fighter and I was, doing some clean ones, I might mix in a couple of these also because you're being dominant in the fight, right? But you get those cautions for the minor fouls, so now they're on a short leash now. So great job by the referee to call both of those, and let's see what the fighters do next.
all right, yeah, we got another one here. This one, oh man, they both just fall over here, but you can see on this, it's a, you know, it's a foul. I think it's it's one of those ones where it's the he's using the bottom of his foot and almost leaning with it, and a lot of these times, even if you do something legal, when both people are falling, it's just not good. Um, More times than not, I would say that that's not going to score even with a legal technique when both fighters fall to the canvas.
Hmm. And also now we're looking at this point since he's been cautioned twice. And if red is down, red is trying to make points, right? Red is trying to attack. So we don't want to see this. This is one of the nuances that I'm talking about. If red is down, um, is he down in this round or no? Is
No,
he up?
he won the first round,
Okay,
and we're in round two.
we're in round two. But if red is trying to attack, and blue is the one that keeps on throwing red to the ground, right?
Yes.
So if red is trying to attack and blue keeps on throwing him to the ground, and he's had two illegal ways of doing that, two illegal sweeps, then we're really looking at that harder because red is taking chances. You know what I mean? Red is
Yeah.
taking chances to score and try to make points, which is what the main objective in Muay Thai is to do damage to your opponent. So if blue is trying to take advantage of that and sweep illegally when red is the one that's taking making more risk by doing damage, then that's when it's just to call a foul or even take a point away.
All right. Going to the next one. So the maybe it was a close call. The referee gave him another chance here. So this is the last one here, and yeah, this one is definitely bad. Both fighters falling again to the canvas, and this one's in the third round, so it's 1-1. Sometimes you say, oh man, he's taking a point, it's 1-1, but this is the fourth infraction now, and it's getting, as you saw in the second round, both fighters are falling to the mat. Now in the third round on the foul, both fighters are falling to the mat. That's not a good thing. The referee's got to do something to clean it up.
Yeah, it's becoming unfair and unclear. And at the end of the day, we want to give the judges a more clear path into scoring techniques, right? So, especially in Muay Thai, we want to clean that up. Um, and we could talk about the differences between Olympic style and what you might see even varies from stadium to stadium in Thailand. So this is a classic situation of Olympic Muay Thai and calling it as it should be. So I think the ref is right. And I don't disagree with necessarily. I don't disagree with the ref for not taking a point for the one before that. Like that's totally up to the referee's discretion. But at this point, I 100% have the referee's back. Like you said, it could be the fourth time. Definitely needs to have a point taken away.
Yeah, I think the as you saw all the clips, and you can just play all the clips through. That was the last one there. Is the there's stuff that's close, right? It's close calls. Like I think on the second clip we showed, where it's a little bit of the top of the foot, a little bit of the bottom of the foot, and it's about like from what I've seen, it's about cleanliness. It's clean. It's if the guys are struggling, they're pulling each other and they're both falling down, more times than not, those are, obviously they're not clean. They're falling down, both of them. But a lot of times those are used with the bottom of the foot. Both fighters are tired. Push pull. It's not gonna go to either side in these type of situations. But nonetheless, this was one of the best fights of the tournament. This is just obviously a 1 minute long video of a bunch of clips, but the blue fighter Aaron from Andrada Gym, excellent clinch fighter. I just think now, from learning from this, that you can do. I saw that some people were saying that IFMA style, you can't do these sweeps and dumps, but you can. You just can't use the bottom of your foot to off balance. You can't use the bottom of your foot. And he's push pulling here on the last technique to pull him to the canvas, off balancing him with the bottom of his foot on the outside of his calf. So, small adjustments, this guy could be very good. I could definitely see him in the gold medal match next year. He was impressive. Just some small little tweaks in his game. It could be good. Lastly, we're gonna just talk about overall, like we said, that these techniques vary from stadium to stadium. They vary from stadium to stadium. You have Lumpini, you have Rajadamnan, you have Amnoy, you have uh, all at Ranksit Stadium. You have all this different, all of them. You got the provinces. You got all the stadiums in Chiang Mai, Phuket, Pattaya. It's going to be different everywhere. So I can tell you this: one of the things that you'll see more at, I think we talked about this before the call, JJ, is that each place has a different way of how it happens after the fact, right? If you see in these videos, our referee in the IFMA style, USA Muay Thai, they are demonstrating the foul uh, and letting the fighter know, letting the audience know, letting the judges and referees know that he's been cautioned. And he's also when the last point when he's taking a point off. And some people say in the stadium, and you'll see people in comment sections these days, they'll say, well, the referee didn't say anything. That may be true, but he also may not be getting, you're not getting awarded points for that. You're not getting scored in your favor for that. And then, more and more with how the landscape of Muay Thai is changing, you're seeing in Rajadamnern Stadium at RWS events, you're definitely seeing more demonstration of the fouls. On the
Right.
Lumpini international shows, like the Fairtex fight or the Lumpini World Champ, you're seeing more demonstration of the foul. On the shows that are more of the gambling shows, like the Source of Mai, I believe, is on at Rajadamnern Stadium. Some of the Pet Yindi shows at Ranksit, you're just seeing the continuation.
Yeah, and you're probably getting verbally warned, but you're definitely not getting the demonstration on some of those. And in Rangsid and Omnoy, you're not getting those. And I know that for a fact. Jean Tenong told me that they don't demonstrate those fouls in those stadiums at on some of those gambling promotions, but especially in the international stuff, right? Especially when you have and I'm not talking about what goes on in the provinces or, in Chiang Mai or something at some of these smaller shows outside of Bangkok, foreigner versus Thai. You're still going to have no calls in some of those too. But the major stadiums, you're definitely going to see in demonstration of the foul for the international shows.
Cool. All right, guys. I think that wraps up everything. JJ, you have anything from the clips today? And what before you say, I just want to say again, guys, it's just for educational purposes. We're not, knocking any fighters or style. I like I said, this I think very highly of the coach. He was actually my teammate, Jason Andrada, for USA when we fought at IFMA together. And
Yeah.
his fighter fought hard. It was one of the better fights of the tournament. And yeah, man, I can't wait to actually see him come back next year, tweak his game up a little bit, and yeah, put on some good fights. But JJ, you have anything to close out about this
No,
whole?
overall, I was just really impressed with the USA Nationals. It was an amazing experience to have the chairman of Lumpini there overseeing everything and working under him. As usual, I learned a lot. Um, so, I mean, thank you to USA Muay Thai for making that happen 2 years in a row. I think that's unprecedented. And you missed out on that, if you missed out on that training seminar, tough luck. I mean, in my opinion, every commission, every sanctioning body in the U.S. that sanctions Muay Thai should have been there. So
Hundred
thank you
percent.
for everybody that was there. Everybody was extremely nice. Also shout out to. I'm just happy that everybody, you might come from, the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast. You might work with USMTA, WKA, TBA. It doesn't matter. We all came together. Everybody had a good time. Everybody learned. And we all just put our best foot forward. And that's, I think, in best interest of the sport. Shout out to Pete Peterson. He came out from TBA, and he was great to work with. He did a really good job on his ring as expected. So yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to continuing with Stadium Pro and educate, trying to educate as much as we can on all these different formats because it's getting hard to keep up with. But we're doing our best. And shout out to Michael Corley. He just developed a new scoring platform. Scoring software is still kind of under construction, but the beta is out for that already, and that's going to be something big also. So
Yeah. So hey, guys, if you're interested, we are looking for testers. I'm not gonna just give it out. You got to come and hit us up. Go into the school community. Hit us up on our Instagram. The test is out. We have a testing. We have I think about 12 or fights on online on the testing. There's a leaderboard. You get points if you get it correct. It's something that's not been done before. Each round, when you score, you're gonna have to put the articles of the stadium. I'm sorry, not the stadium, of the Sports Authority of Thailand, and you have to say how he won that fight. I'm sorry, that round, and then you can also add in notes to it as well. There's a sliding scale of what percentage you would think red won by blue. Let's say it was a very close round. Maybe you would slide it and say 55-45, or it's an outclass at 75-25. just so we can, it's a good thing for us to see what our judges are seeing in that round. Did they think it was close? Because that helps us out. Did they think that round was close by that sliding meter? Because they could just choosing red or blue. We don't know everything from them. And so when we see the articles from the Sports Storytelling, why they thought they won the round, their comments, and then the sliding scale, I think it's a really good thing uh, for our trainees, for judges, for everyone out there. And then cool thing about it is that the software takes the average of what, if 10 officials score a round, it's going to give the round average. So we're kind of seeing what the trends are uh, for trainees for each fight, and maybe some of the fights, the public sees it differently than what the judge saw it. I do see that going to happen in some of them because some of the fights we've uploaded are very, very tough to score. So it's going to be something really cool. We do have the test ready. We got IFMA fights on there, RWS fights on there, traditional stadium fights on there. Only thing we don't have on there yet is one. I love one too, but we put them in last. We traditional first, IFMA, RWS, and then because the traditional has been around the longest. We wanted to put that in there and pay respect to some of the greatest fights in the sports history, and then IFMA, just a place where we come up in. Set a very high standard of officiating and the international feel of all the different countries participating, and then RWS. Um, it's coming up. It's new still, right? I still there's still questions that we all have. Myself, JJ, are still learning about RWS and one. And you've been with one, JJ, and they've already made slight changes and tweaks that you've seen already. So it's hard for us to, give you the path and everything on these because they're changing. But we're, like he said earlier in the call, we're keeping up with it. We're right on the edge of our seat. We're right there getting it done with you guys. So JJ,
No, I'm good. Just excited to continue with all this stuff, and the feedback is everything. So please give us feedback how you're liking these videos, what you want to see more of, um, stuff like that. Is really important. Ask questions. We love questions. We love getting back to you. So if we could help you out on your fight journey, coach journey, officiating journey, we'd be more than happy to help you out.
yep. All right. With that, see y'all later. Thank you.